I'm Brody Monahan, driver of the 31 Inex Legend car.
I'm Emma Monahan, driver of the number 78 truck at the new London-Waterford Speedbowl.
Started going to the track at a young age, watching my dad race. I really loved it, got a car, and just started racing at Stafford on Monday nights. It took me a while to get a hang of it, maybe a year. But then once we were locked in, we were just banging out wins, and it was great. I did 4 in a row all at once. I think that was when I quit.
So funny thing, all the way up until age 11, I hated the racetrack. Like, I liked to go, but I didn't want to be a part of it or be like a driver or anything. But once I started to understand what racing was and how much goes into it, it was that's when I wanted to start. So we bought an SXR kart. We only did 2 years of that. And then we got a Bandolero when I was 13, I believe.
So after the raced karts at Stafford, we moved to a Bandolero and started racing at the Speedbowl. Rookie year, I was finishing on the podium, but I was just coming up short. But my second year out there, I think I went out maybe week 2. It was Matty Harkin and Nick Hovey battling for the lead, going into 3 on the final lap, and they spun out, and I came out of 4, and I got my first win in the Bando.
So Brody won before me, which really made me upset. I was so mad about it. So then I was like, I'm done playing nice. And then I came back the next week and I won the next 2 weeks in a row.
After that, my cousin Emma, we were just going back and forth each week, winning races for about 8 weeks. I got 4 wins and she got 4 wins. So that was probably one of my best seasons in a Bandolero.
One of my most spectacular wrecks was the Bando days. I think it was my second season. I was racing with Brody, and I knew I was starting outside of him, and we were too wide going into turn 1, but we didn't know that there was another car peeking to my outside right rear. So then I think Brody was trying to drive me up the track a little bit, but since that other car was there, I ended up barrel rolling. My roof went into the wall, and then every single body panel, tin on the inside just went flying off. There was nothing left of it. It was just the cage. And then I was out for a week with a sprained knee. While I had my sprained knee, my dad bought me another car. And then that's when we went back the very next week after that. And I had no fear to just get back in it and get going again.
When I came out of the Bandos and I went into a Legend car, I didn't really like the Legend cars too much. I thought maybe I was just going to stick with a Bando because I thought the Legends were really hard, which they were. No power steering. Yeah, my arms were falling asleep at the end of races and stuff. I was like a noodle, but... The tie rod's dead too. What is that?
Where?
It's bent in that one. See it?
Oh yeah, big time.
My dad, he does almost everything. Make sure the car's good on the scales.
Look at this arm. It's supposed to be straight. See how it's bent down?
Make sure all the geometry is good on the car and everything before they go to the racetrack. And he knew what to do to make the car go fast and make adjustments. My dad, he'll watch me on the track going through practice, and he'll have set in his mind what he wants to do to the car and what the car is doing, and I'll come in and tell him a different story. And then he gets all frustrated, and I try to tell him not to be a baby because he gets all messed up when I try to talk to him. We usually argue a lot, but we usually listen to each other and then figure out something 5 minutes before the race goes out, and then we're all set. So it's just me and my mom and my dad and George May. He was a big help.
On my race team, I have my 2 biggest ones are my dad and my stepmom. They make everything a reality for me. My dad puts in the hours, my stepmom lets him. My dad always wants to give me the best of the best equipment and just make me fast. And then we have Bob Hayes. He just kind of watches around, makes sure that everything's going correctly. I love having Bob around. And then we have Daryl. He likes to do our tires, and he's really good at my pep talks. If I'm nervous for a race or something, he likes to make sure that I'm steered in the right direction. We have Dawn, who kind of does a lot of our body work. And then we have Joey, who's my cousin, and it's just amazing to have Joey in here. Joey likes to do everything. He mostly nuts and bolts our car before we go out for any race to make sure everything's okay and nothing's gonna break in a race.
Our goals for the 2022 race season were to just get my first win mainly and go for wins. We usually don't really think about points a lot. So my goal was just to try to win as many races as I could. John O'Sullivan, he was good coming off of a lot of momentum from the last season winning the championship. He was probably the toughest competitor when he was racing at the beginning of the season. Probably more towards the end of the season, Dylan Cody, he figured out something at the end of the season in the legend car, and he was going real good. We usually pit next to each other. We had a really good relationship. PJ was pretty good. I know Phil puts a lot of time into his car and stuff, so every time PJ shows up, you know he's gonna be fast.
This season, our goals were to really understand what the truck is doing, how to feel out what's happening, and how I could communicate it with my team. So if we won, it was amazing, but it wasn't like my number one goal. I just wanted to understand what was going on beneath me. So it's definitely different with every driver. There's some drivers who are like, wow, that's cool, that's amazing, like, it's fun to race with you. And then there's other people that are like, I'm not getting beat by a girl. Like, there's no way this girl is gonna come out here and beat me.
Does that motivate you more?
Yeah. When I know somebody doesn't want to race against me because I'm a girl or doesn't want me to pass them, I like to try to shoot to the outside and pass them on the top because I want them to see that I can do it.
Brody comes out of chill, man. Oh boy, here we go, here we go. Come on, Brody, you got this, dude. Nice. That's cool, man. Second generation.
Well, the Monahan family adds another name to the win list. Brody Monahan, the first ever winner in the Legend car.
My family's been a part of the Speedbowl for a long time, and it's great to be able to add to the family history with taking down a win.
Who do you think was more nervous, you in the car or your dad in the stands?
My dad in the stands.
Hey, oh my God. Did you and Diego ever win on the same day?
No, I usually had to wreck them. No. So the question is, who's a better driver, your dad or your uncle?
My dad.
And why do you think that is?
Because he paid me to say that.
What's going on, Brody?
Not much.
You staying out of trouble?
Yeah, trying.
I think Brody is an amazing driver. He is gonna grow up to be really, really good. He's definitely aggressive like Sean. But he's got that power to him where you know he's coming and he's not gonna give up easily.
Emma's racing style is really laid back and just very respectful on the track and just doesn't really want to hit anybody. That's not good. Because she just hit people.
Oh boy. Chris Taylor digging high side. Oh!
I'd say my worst wreck in the 2022 season was back maybe mid-season going into turn 3. Riley Paul spun up the track. I think he got into it with Dylan Freeman and I just tagged his rear bumper. Went into the wall pretty hard. I had a pretty bad headache. That was probably my worst wreck of the 2022.
So my first win was the 10 truck was leading. And I had just gone to the inside of Kyle Garrow.
on, we're gonna throw it back in. What's up?
And then as I passed Kyle Garrow going into 3, the 10 chuck broke.
Ladies' night in the Speedbowl for the first time ever. Your winner, Emma Monahan.
When they announced my name and I could just hear everybody screaming, it was just like a feeling I could not even like explain.
The first time ever putting the 78 into victory lane.
I mean, it's just so unbelievable. It's been so hard for us the last 2 seasons, and we've been almost here like a couple times. So to finally be here and hear my dad cry on the radio, it just means so much to me. And then once I saw my dad, it was just like a hug that I didn't want to let go from, because I knew it was something we had worked for so long, and it was getting to a point where I didn't even know if like I could win. It was just like I was starting to get in my head real down about myself. So then once we finally got it, it was like, okay, I can do this. Sean is definitely an aggressive spotter. He tells me exactly what I need to do. He'll tell me like, Emma, stop laying back so much, get up on the wheel, you can't just baby it around. Like, he tells it how it is. He uses some language that I'm not allowed to say, but he tells me how it is, and he really pushes me, because I've learned that without that push in my ear, I'm not really going as hard as I should be. With him in my ear, it makes me like, Emma, fill that gap, you have to get your nose in there. Well, if he wasn't there, I probably wouldn't fill any of the gaps.
Towards the end of the season, we didn't have the championship clinched yet. Well, there was 2 races to go. The Money Show Fall Classic race, and then there was the finale. And that last race that we ran before the finale got rained out, and then that's when we got locked up the championship.
The 2022 Saturday Legend Champion here at the Speedbowl, Brody Monahan.
The night I clinched the championship was pretty fun.
Yeah, this is amazing. I mean, I had a great race today.
It's just like one of those things where you always want to be a champion.
We were having a great 3-way battle here for the lead, back and forth the whole race, and I just had a lot of fun today. Probably the most fun I've had all year.
So going into the last race of the season, I had a 6-point lead on Tyler Chapman. I was nervous. I did not sleep for like a week, but I knew that all I needed to do was finish the race. The win wasn't in my view right there, because I knew it would get too aggressive and I didn't even want to risk the truck. I was going to stay right behind him and just keep my points safe. When we got to his back bumper, I didn't want to do anything stupid, and I just trailed right behind him.
The 2022 Speedbowl Truck Champion, Emma Monahan.
I've never seen so many people along the fence, just like, I didn't know there were that many people that really rooted for me. I mean, I just can't believe it. I'm honestly so speechless. My crew and my father, they work day and night on this truck to give me the best that they can. This wouldn't be possible without my dad and my whole crew, my mom, my boyfriend, all my friends who came out to support, all my salon girls who came tonight, just all my family who came. It was cool to feel like, wow, these people really support me, and I finally did something amazing. Like, my dad's never even gotten a championship, and now here I am. It fell in my lap, and I was so grateful for everybody in that one moment.
It's really cool that me and Emma won our championships on the same season. When it comes to next year, we know we're definitely going to be dabbling a little bit in the 2023 Legend cars.
I really like late models. I'm pretty sure we're doing another full season in the truck with occasional appearances in a late model if we do decide to go that way.
We're looking to move up, but to what division is undetermined. You'll have to come to the track and find out.